Can you just go ahead and introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Nhyria.
All right, we'll get right to the interview. How would you define creativity?
Oh, I should have looked over these questions.
Well, these would be spontaneous then.
Creativity.
So what are you making for us today?
What'd you say?
What are you making for us?
Oh, well, something simple, just like some roasted potatoes and tilapia and salmon. Dang, y'all are like recording me. I'm like, I don't know if this is how. Creativity can be anything. It's whatever you make, whatever you want to do. It's creative. There's no right way to describe creativity. Sorry, I feel like I need to go look up creativity real quick. Yikes. Creativity. It's just, I think when I think of it, it's like just not fitting the social norm. It's like not putting a box behind whatever you're doing. You're just doing something and things are just flowing out of your mind, out of your hands. Okay, creativity is the use of the imagination or original ideas, especially in the production of an artistic work. Yeah, so just free flowing. Like you're not putting yourself in a box and just doing whatever.
No,
I always take a break from Instagram. I like deactivated my account. I usually do that beginning of the year. But I have it. No, I have not posted anything this year. But I have so many videos.
Oh, I love that you
But just haven't posted anything. Thank you.
So then would you consider yourself to be a creative person?
No, I wouldn't. Yeah, no, I don't think I'm that much of a creative person. Like, if you tell me to go and, like, draw something or put something on paper, like, I don't think I'm a creative, really.
So you think creative is only, like, drawing?
I think, okay, once again, I'm putting myself in a box, and I said that's not the definition. So, I mean, I guess I can, yeah, like, it's a form of art, yes. Cooking or doing things. So, in a sense, yes, that, but not in other things. Like, I can't put, like, designs together.
Yeah, okay.
Basically.
Okay. Oh, a true strainer. I don't own one of those.
Oh, yeah, I didn't own it either. My mom brought it to me.
Then, I guess when you cook, how do you feel? Like, what's the process?
Oh, I feel fine. I feel good. The main thing is always just focused on taste, I think. So I just want the outcome to be good of whatever I'm making. So, I mean, it's cool. Yeah.
Then what is, I guess, how would you describe your why of why you cook, or like how did it start up, or and what would you, okay, yeah, we'll just answer that part. So like, what's the story behind you? Cooking. Your passion for food, yeah.
Oh, I just like food that tastes good. I think that's the main thing. Like, maybe you'll go somewhere and you'll be like, this could have used a little bit more of this spice or flavor. So I think it's just being able to control the narrative. That's such a cliche word or whatever. But yeah, just being able to do things the way I like. So I don't know if it's a control thing. So I think that's where the whole thing for cooking comes. And it's also sometimes more cost effective. Like, you can make more food compared to if you had a plate somewhere. It's maybe $15. That $15 could buy a lot of ingredients and make food that lasts more than one meal.
That is cool. How often do you cook then? If you want to know.
Like, it depends. I mean, maybe 4 times a week or something.
Dang, that's more than a lot of people.
That's a lot.
I guess. It depends.
Different things 4 times a week?
You say that again?
Like you're cooking something different 4 times a week?
I think so, or 3. It depends. Like, for example, I made stew, so like I'm not really cooking like that. I haven't been cooking as much lately. But like I'll make something like a a meal that can be eaten over days. But then sometimes this veggie stuff, you can do it daily.
Yeah.
But this is all. I wouldn't like be making potatoes all the time because that's what takes long.
Right.
But I like to do like maybe a veggie stir fry when I feel like I haven't had vegetables like in my system.
Dang. To cook 4 times a week sounds crazy. Like I cook maybe once, if that. So I'm saying you don't go out to eat a lot.
Well, I feel like I do also. I don't know. It depends really. Like lately I haven't. I've been very busy, so I'm not like in a cooking.
Yeah. Mode.
Yeah, that's the word.
What would you say to people then who don't know their why, or trying to figure out their why for like diving into a creative aspect?
I think there's no pressure around it. It's if you just have an idea or something comes to mind, you should do it. But in terms of why, I think most people, I don't want to say it comes to them or they have an interest, so they'll go and study it. Like, actually, that's a good question, because cooking, it's not like something that came to me. It's like my main thing, the main reason behind it is I want the food to taste good. So with that, I'm researching like, okay, how do people maybe make this type of stew? What's different from this other person? So I try it out. So I think it's just discovery and being okay with like not knowing.
Well,
If we can talk, like, because I'm just like here doing like,
You're in your zone.
not really, I'm just like here thinking, I'm like, okay, it's like quiet, people are watching me.
Quiet for like what, hour yesterday?
Really?
Yeah, it was
Like an hour of silence.
What
Yeah.
was yesterday?
Shit.
what do you think are Colossians 3:17 and 23 mean? So we're
Okay,
gonna read it.
let's go and find Colossians 3:17
Yes.
and 23. So 17 says, whatever you do in word or deed, do all in the name of the Lord Jesus, giving thanks through him to God the Father. So we can start off with that one. It says just whatever you do. And I think in everything you do, it should glorify God. That's what the main takeaway from that, like your acts, whatever you're doing, when you're speaking or in your actions, it should give glory to God, and give thanks to him for all those things that you're doing. That's how quickly, if I read that, I understand it, but I'm sure you could always dive deeper. And then 23 says, whatever you do, do your work heartily, as for the Lord rather than for men. So yeah, that one is, when I read that, I think of it, just everything you're doing it for God, not for other people. Like I've heard the discussions of like people who serve in their church, maybe they'll get offended or they'll think about something someone has done, and the main thing is, from that, what I've taken away is you're not doing it for men. You're not doing it for people. Even like, let's say you're giving your tithe. A lot of times you're like, you're wondering, okay, what is the church actually doing with that 10%? But you have to remember, you're not giving it to man. You're thinking, you're just giving it to God. So just dust your hands of anything. Like, never take things personal. It's never a you thing. I don't know why I added that, but anyways.
That was good.
Really get some consistency of it.
Yeah, like the nice
We don't necessarily get seasons.
60s, 70s.
Right, it's always, you get any given day that's not the summertime, you get about 65, 75 degrees. Summertime, it might get up to 90 or 100, but that's like June, July, August.
90 or 100.
Yeah.
Then what have you learned from cooking besides how to cook better? Or would you say like cooking has developed other skills in you besides like?
I think, sir, I've learned that there's a lot of things that are on this earth that can help us. Like I think earlier this week, I was having a bit of a headache. My head was hurting. I was like, man, I haven't had vegetables in my system. So I just made some quick like veggie stir fry and I felt better. So I think something I want to dive into deeper is like nutrients. Or I guess you have people who are nutritionalists, but just understanding like, okay, if I eat an apple, that gives me energy. So right now I'm even currently juicing, and there's lots of benefits I've even found in having certain like fruits and vegetables. Hope I answered the question well.
So you're saying like what you've learned from cooking is just like the benefits of the nutrition.
Yeah, or there's like a lot of things. I believe there's a lot of things on this earth like God has given us, but a lot of times we're so focused on like modern things with medicine. Like there's different spices that could really help like your body, like turmeric, many benefits. I don't have them off the top of my head, so that's something I want to be able to know, like, okay, maybe my eye is twitching, so because of that I need apple cider vinegar, instead of thinking like, oh, you need to go get some medicine to help you.
Okay.
So
wow, that's cool. All right.
Is that honey?
yeah.
Where did you learn to cook?
Oh, I said I like food to taste good, so I'm just curious. I'll just watch like maybe a video on YouTube or the Tasty app. I have that.
Oh,
I think I started with that like back.
I didn't know it was an app.
Yeah,
Oh.
they have an app.
Oh. Dang.
So like if I think of something, I think it was back then I like looked it up during like 2020 when I finished school. That's when I was really
Delve into
trying
cooking.
things, because it was the first time I was having like my own place and kitchen. This is the Tasty app. So like, let's say, I don't know, you're thinking of I don't know, it's pronounced Euro or something. They have like videos and recipes. So just anything comes to mind, you can just
Okay, that's
search
cool.
it.
I might have to
Yeah.
download that.
Yeah.
I always rely on Pinterest. Like I look at recipes on Pinterest and I'm just like,
And then where does your inspiration come from, or what sparks your creativity to craft something new, and how has your personal experience influenced your creativity?
Yeah, to craft something new, I think I haven't been doing that as much, but it was whenever I first graduated, like back December 2019. So I was living by myself 2020. I mean, there was a whole pandemic. So I think that caused me to just be by myself with my kitchen. So I think that's what really was the catalyst for that, because I was just curious. It was an activity. And then now I have my food page. So sometimes like I'll casually post things like, so I haven't posted in a long time. Still, I have like a lot of stuff on my phone that I haven't posted. So I think that's one thing, like trying to have different content. But I don't ever feel pressure to post things, because it's just more so like, oh, because I feel like it. Yeah.
Okay. And then how much of your own life is reflected in your craft, I guess? Like, is it more like traditional or American, or
The food?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. How much of your personal life is like reflected in the way you cook?
Oh, I mean, I think a lot of it is like my taste buds. Like I like spicy food, so a recipe may not call for as much spice, but then I'll just throw in spice because I need that kick to enhance the flavor. So yeah, or maybe the person I'm cooking for, maybe I know this is something that they'll like, so I'll try and craft it or make it in a way that they would enjoy it. Are you African?
No.
Okay.
Well,
it's because you said your
not
mom.
that
This is not that enough.
At least the last.
Or like your family
40
also like will with the food.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's cool.
At least the last 4 generations at least. Before that, listen.
You said last 40 or 4?
4. Before that, I
Skippy.
Okay. And then when you create new dishes, do you create with the intent to send a message? And if not, why? And if so, how important is it for your audience to understand the message?
Okay, so audience, so that would just make me think of Instagram.
Yeah.
Repeat the question again.
Do you create with the intent to send a message? Why or why not?
Intent to send a message. I mean, I want to go with my food page. I think it's just because I make food, so I just want somewhere to post it. So I don't ever have any type of expectation in terms of like how people are going to react, because I just do it genuinely for myself. But if I'm ever making something that's, I don't know, out of the box, it's to let people know you can try it too.
Yeah.
Like it's not too hard. So I like to be very detailed with like my reels, so you can see like the step-by-step process. Just like encouraging someone else to try it. But not to say I don't really, it's really just for me.
Yeah.
Hobby wise. But I do like to, maybe I should try that more, engage with people and stuff.
How did your food page like come about? Like when, like why did you make a page for it?
Yeah, I think I was just taking pictures of food and videos. So I'm like, I have all these pictures and videos on my phone. They should sit somewhere. So that's the whole purpose. Just having a place to broadcast it.
Yeah, that's cool. And then what would you say your signature dish is?
Wow, sorry, my stomach just roared. Signature dish, if something that I know I won't miss on it, I think it's my chicken stir fry. I have that on my page. I should probably pin it, but that one is, I think it's good. And other people who've had it, they think it's good. Or just any protein with like potatoes tends to be good. Like I have this honey garlic chicken I make. That's pretty good. I think it's good. Opinion. So someone else might not like it. That's perfectly fine.
Okay. But do you have a greater aspirations for your work in the cooking world? Or like, would you ever consider owning your own like business or anything?
Yeah, no, people have asked me that, but I think once again, I don't know if it's bad or comfortability zone. Like it's just, I feel like everybody eats too. The only difference is that I'm posting it. Because I know people who cook way more than me. So people think like I eat a lot because I'm always posting stuff. But for all you know, that thing is from 3 months ago. And I'll just be posting it back to back and they'll think like, wow, you've really been eating this week. But I don't know. I mean, I'm always open to it, but I don't have any like goals as of now. Like, okay, I'm trying to open up a restaurant or a chef. I think in the future, God, I just want to have a home that like whenever people come, they're gonna have a good meal. Like I say, that's a priority. But I'm not here trying to become like some food blogger or anything.
Okay. All right. Then if you could see your future / the end result of the journey God is taking you through, do you think you would move in haste to like go after it, or would you be hesitant?
Is this just in anything?
Just in anything.
But I move in haste. If someone's like, oh, do you want to see how life is going to look 30 years from now? I don't want to see it. Because I appreciate the process and journey of life. Like 2021, that was a very challenging year for me, and it took literally 2 years for me to see why. Like and that was just like in my job journey. Like when I was applying for jobs, like I had a lot of companies. I went to like the final round with them, like 5th round, like big names, and they laid people off this year. So I'm just like, I just want to trust the process and end up trusting God, because I feel like if I am to know what God's plans are, I may not be appreciative of it, and I won't actually be able to practice my faith because now I'm knowing, and faith is the evidence of what things not hope hope for, but like you can't see it. So I wouldn't be able to have actual faith if I know what's going on. I wouldn't be able to rely on God.
Affect somebody else. Like you don't know that will affect them.
Oh yeah, I mean that's life. I think like if you like, God knows why maybe He'll put us in certain places. So maybe God, I like drove somewhere and then like that happened yesterday. I can't share what happened, but maybe God will take me to this place and I didn't know why. Like that, like it impacts everything basically. Like the decisions you make, they impact things. So I may not know why, like who it impacted, but it did something. I hope this answer your question. Okay.
You understood it right.
So basically, I'm just trying to say I will listen to God, but I'm not going to know. I may not know how it's impacting someone else.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. That's an interesting. The formatting is interesting for that question.
Well, maybe I'll switch it up.
Oh no, it's perfectly fine. No, it's me. I think I've never been asked a question like that. That's why I'm like, oh, okay, trying to understand it well.
Okay. Well, that's the last question.
Okay.
Thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, thanks for your time too, Jordan and Esther.
All right.